everyone, and welcome back to another video of my travels in Japan. Today I have a few clips of my trip to Fox Village and Cat Island, which are both in Miyagi, which is north of Tokyo here in Japan. I actually filmed these in February, which I know is quite a while ago, and I'm sorry I haven't gotten around to editing and uploading, but here I am now, and I hope you still enjoy these clips. At the end, I'd actually like to explain how I got to these places, because every time I've told someone that I've been, they were like, oh, how did you get there? Like, isn't it really expensive? Isn't it really hard to get there? And while it wasn't as easy to get there as it was most of the other places I've been, it definitely wasn't impossible, and it wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be. So I'd just like to show you guys that it's not that difficult, and I'll leave links in the description too on how I planned my trip. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you at the end. And welcome back. Okay, so now I'll let you in on the secret of how I got to both places, which are really great tourist spots if you're coming to Japan. They're a little bit outside of the normal touristy areas like Kyoto and Tokyo, but I think it was worth it personally. Maybe not so much Fox Island, actually. To be honest, I think Fox Village was a little disappointing in the sense that the cage was a lot smaller than I had thought, and outside of the cage, the huge cage area where most of the foxes were, they also had other foxes in smaller cages, which I didn't care for a lot. It was really lovely seeing the foxes, but I would have hoped that the cage would have been a little bit bigger, since they did have a lot of forest land around the cage that they could have maybe expanded to. Yeah, I wouldn't go again necessarily, but it was a great experience, especially because at the end you can hold a fox, which is really cute. They have such coarse fur and they're really lovely animals, although they were super smelly, which is something that has stayed with me. They were very, very stinky, but very, very cute. As for Cat Island, while it was quite a way to get there because one has to take a ferry and everything. I'm a huge cat fan, so for me it was worth it because all the cats on the island were very cute and friendly. Most of them came up to you because they probably thought you had food, which most of the tourists do. Since we went in February where it was quite cold, there weren't very many tourists there with us, which was quite nice, so we had all the attention of the cats to ourselves. But even so, a few of them were sick, but as far as I could tell, the people of the island did care for the cats. We went to a small cafe and the lady there had books logging each cat on the island, saying that, oh, they live on this part of the island, which I thought was really nice, just to know that they do care for the cats. And they were all very friendly, the people there. There wasn't a lot going on the island. There's also not a lot to do apart from seeing cats. There's not very many shops or anything like that at all. But it is a nice day trip for sure. If you like cats and like remote islands, then it might be worth a visit for you. So now for how I actually got to the cat island. So the first thing I did was go from Tokyo to Miyagi, which is, as I said, north up from Tokyo. So how we got there was a night bus, and it only costs about 3,500 yen, which is about $35 or 35 euros depending on where you're from. So it's not that expensive. It took about 5 hours and it went through the night, so we arrived in the morning. And if you can sleep on buses, that's a really good option. It's a lot cheaper than the Shinkansen, and I would recommend that. And I think we stayed there 1 or 2 nights, one for each place we were going to. So after each trip we just returned to Sendai, which is the main city of Miyagi, and then travel out in the morning from there. And it was the most practical in my opinion because there were more Airbnb options there and it was cheaper in the end to just travel back and forth. So from Sendai we took a normal train to Ishinomaki, and from that station we actually walked 30 minutes, which sounds like a lot, but because it was nice weather it didn't seem like that much. What I would recommend if you're traveling in Japan is definitely having Google Maps on you. I know they're not 100% reliable, however, it's just knowing where you are and being able to look, and even if it's offline it can be a huge help. So what I did was I marked the port on my Google Maps and we walked there the 30 minutes, and when we got there we bought our tickets at the shop they had there and got on the boat, and it was fairly easy to find, albeit being a long walk. The port is called Ajishima Boat Line, and usually if you look foreign or touristy, the people there will be like, oh, you're going to the cat island, and they'll like help you buy your ticket, which is very nice of them. And there's already cats waiting for you there at the mainland shop, which was cute as well. It takes about maybe 30 minutes by boat to the island, to Tashirojima, and you want to get off at Nitoda port, which is like the main port of Tashirojima. And then from there on you can go around the island, and you just have to be careful that you catch the last boat, otherwise you'll be stuck on the island. And I think the last one was around 3 or 4 p.m. so if you get there in the morning you should be fine. Right, now for how to get to Fox Island. This one was a little less accessible than Cat Island because I feel like the ferry for Cat Island, it goes a few times in the day. Oh, by the way, I'll leave the schedule for the ferry also in the link in the description. But the bus to take you to Fox Village only goes twice a day, 2 times a week. So you can take a bus, but it'll only come Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. We have like a special extra bus called Castle-kun. It'll say it on the bus. If you can read hiragana, then you'll know which bus to take. And we took the bus on Tuesday morning, and we were done a long time before the next bus came, so we ended up taking a taxi back. And the taxi back, we actually asked some people that were there if they wanted to take a taxi with us so we could save some money. And what you do is you go to the register at the gift shop and they'll give you a little note like this, and then they'll just call your number when your taxi's there and you can just go and get on. You don't even have to really speak any Japanese to be able to get home, which is also really useful if you don't speak Japanese. I really recommend talking to people there if you're less than 4 people and being like, oh hey, do you need a ride? We can share, because then obviously you'll save money. I think the taxi was about 20 minutes drive and it cost 3,000 yen, so like $30. So I hope I covered everything. I'll try and leave all the links and the timetables and any helpful websites I use in the description. If you have any questions, you can feel free to comment them and I'll try and reply and help you out, because honestly, if you do enough research, it's not that hard to get there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and my impressions of Miyagi with all their beautiful animals, and I will see you soon in another video. Goodbye! Hey everyone, and welcome back to more blah, blah, blah. Because when I've been telling people that I'm